Well, hello everyone. We are entering hour 4 of the Course Creation Summit for the first day. If you are here with us, congratulations on making it this far. It has been a full-on experience, and I think you've picked up a tip or two along the way today. If you are joining us inside the Facebook group and you would like us to see your name when you chat, please just allow Restream to be able to put your name up. I'm just putting that in there for you now. For those of you who have not met me yet, my name is Linda Reed-Enever. I am the founder of the Course Creators Circle, a business, and I lead our impact team here at Enever Group. I have been teaching and creating courses since, I started way too early. I'm not saying that how long I've been doing that for, but I've been teaching them online since 2016. I'm a Thinkific approved expert, and you have met a number of my Thinkific approved fellow experts today, teaching you course creation tips as well as Aaron. We are now being joined, because I'm a brand Nazi, let's just be really honest, everything must be on brand, component. We're now being joined by Rebecca, who is going to teach us all about creating brand assets for our courses using Canva. And it's a really important part, guys, when we come through this course creation journey, to make sure everything's on brand. I'm going to let Rebecca introduce herself. So say hello to everyone, and she's in the Sunshine Coast, so she's an hour behind us.
I am. Can you see my screen as of yet or not?
I'm just about to bring your screen.
Okay, cool.
It's up.
Beautiful. Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Linda, for having me here today. And hello to everybody. And thanks so much for joining us. I am so excited to be able to share some super cool hints and tips about how to use Canva. But before I do, I just want to let you know I've had 20 years in branding and design. I've run my own boutique agency, as well as freelancing for some of the world's biggest brands. And we've started 3 gyms from scratch as a family-owned business. So I am fully aware of the trials and tribulations of working in small business in today's climate. And just last week, I finished up working for Canva after 2 years as a senior community manager. And now I'm a Canva expert and a Canva creator. And I have a course launching very, very soon, teaching small business owners how to create their brands and use Canva to create consistently branded content. And later on this year, I'll be launching a membership. So hopefully after this presentation today, you'll find it a little bit easier to create on-brand assets for your course, as well as creating some super cool marketing content with Canva. This presentation, I am warning you, is going to be super, super fast paced, and we will cover a lot. I know you're going to get to the end of this and go, oh my God. So sit back, watch the recording. If you are multitasking, I'll ask you to please shut down anything else and just really watch this and take it all in. And you are more than welcome to connect with me afterwards. I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Branded by Rebecca Flint. And if we have time at the end, I'll take a few questions. So before we get started, can you type in the chat if you've ever used Canva before? And if you have, can you tell me if you're using the free or pro versions, please? Oh, hey, Stacey.
Hey, Stace. She's been here with us all day, bro.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Yes, Linda, you are on pro. You are definitely a pro.
Yeah, we've been a pro for a while now.
We've got a Facebook
pro.
Yay. Oh gosh, you guys don't need me. You can teach
this.
We
do. You need something new.
Well, it's good to see that you're all on pro, and hopefully I can teach you some things that you didn't know today. So for those of you who haven't used Canva before, or you are on a free version, a lot of what I'm going to show you today is available in the free version of Canva, but some of it is exclusively for pro. But if you haven't used it before, you may want to know what Canva is. And so it's an all-in-one visual communications platform that makes it easy to design anything and publish anywhere. So at the end, I'm going to also share with you a special link. If you haven't got Pro, you're welcome to use that and try Pro for free. So Canva is more than just a product. It's an Australian founded company, which I'm enormously proud of. And the mission is to empower the whole world to design. So today we will be covering brand consistency and why that matters, the difference between branding, brand, and brand ID. I know that sounds super confusing. And how to use Canva to effectively set up your brand ID to ensure you have consistently on-brand marketing collateral, as well as I'm going to demo how to create some of those course assets for you at the end. So let's get into it. So why does brand consistency even matter? So Essentially, you want your customers to recognize your brand across all the platforms and engagement tools that you use. You'll want them to be able to connect with you and your brand. And this consistent recognition ultimately builds trust and brand loyalty. So some of the things you need to consider to keep consistent are your brand visuals, your brand tone, your brand messaging, and of course, all of your graphics across all of your platforms and printed media. So Canva helps you design consistent content that allows you to emotionally connect with your audience. And if people recognize and are emotionally connected to your brand, you will win. So today I want to make using Canva and understanding how to create branded content really, really simple for you. So let's get started first with the difference between branding, brand, and brand ID. And let me just share with you, most designers actually don't quite get this right. So if you're a little confused, you are not alone. So let's go ahead and break this down. So people often think that their brand is their logo and branding is just putting that logo onto things. And that's a little part of it, but there is a lot more to it than just that. Now, this graphic makes it super simple to understand. So your brand is all 4 buckets or all 4 circles. So each of the elements within these 4 circles makes up your brand. But your brand ID or brand identity is that last bucket on the right there. And it consists of your logo, your tagline, your colors, your imagery, your typography, and your messaging. So your brand identity makes up part of your overall brand. Now, your brand, or 4 buckets, represents the relationship that you or your company have with your target audience. And at the end of the day, it's what your audience thinks about your brand that ultimately counts. So if that's brand, or 4 buckets, and brand ID, last bucket on the right there, what is branding? And very, very simply put, branding is the strategy or your goals or rules that pull all of those 4 buckets together. And it's the process of giving meaning to your company, products, or services by creating and shaping a brand in your consumers' minds. The key to successful branding is to align what you think people think about your brand with what they actually do think about your brand. So essentially, it's an alignment of values and promises that leaves them feeling a certain way after they've experienced your business's products and services. Now, something I often get asked is, well, should I be building a personal brand or should I be building a corporate or business brand? So let's take a little quick detour and chat about the difference between corporate brands and personal brands. And then we'll take a mini deep dive into the differences between what you see as the brand identities out in the real world. So a personal brand positions you as the expert in your industry or niche and how you communicate your values to your audience. You can hear there's lots of you and your in there. And that basically is the brand. Whereas a corporate or business brand positions the business as the industry leader communicating its values to its audience. And you can hear there's lots of it's in there because it's less human focused. So when we look at a corporate brand or a business brand ID, it's often made up of a set of colors, typography, which is the fonts, and perhaps an icon to reflect its brand values, vision, mission, purpose, etc. So think back to those all those 4 buckets. Whereas with a personal brand, you'll often see a person beside a logo. So using the business owner or employees or brand ambassadors' personalities to build trust with the audience first through applying value, usually through education and inspirational content sharing. So what if you want to build both? And you can. So here you'll see a made-up business, which I'm going to use throughout this whole demonstration, called Heal. And we are going to use the team members' personal brand within the business to help build the overarching business brand. Now, this is something I've actually done in real life. We had till recently a gym called Fitness Box in Sydney, which we've just handed over to my brother. He's taken over it for us. So we had the corporate brand sitting at the top, which is Fitness Box. Then underneath we had 3 trainers. So we had my husband, who's a 6'6" ex-international rugby player. We have my brother, who's a not 6'6", but international ex-gymnast. And then we had a girl called Ali, who was really focused on female fitness. Now, all three of them have very different disciplines and they enjoy different styles of training. So my husband, who was into rugby, he also trained world-class water sports people. He was very much into mobility and strength training. My brother, who's an ex-gymnast, is very much into CrossFit and, doing gymnastic style movements within training. And then, of course, Ali, who was into female fitness, was all about strength training for, building muscle tone and bone density, et cetera, et cetera. Now, they talked about those different things on their social channels, but at the end of the day, they're attracting an audience to the business. When they came to the business, they all did the same sort of group functional training. So by attracting three different sets of audiences, they were all coming to the one business, and effectively that's building that overarching brand. So that's something that you can consider also doing in your business as well. So once you've nailed down what type of brand you will build, you can then start to look at defining all the areas that consume all of those 4 buckets underneath your brand. But today with Canva, we are just going to focus on that last bucket, which is building out a brand identity. Now, before you dive deep into getting a brand ID and logo design, which is usually the first thing that people do because it's the fun stuff, It's important to get to know your audience first. So I'm sure Linda has many resources and tools and tips on building your audience or your avatar or your ideal custom audience, whatever you call it. But at the end of the day, you really, really need to get to know where they live and what problems they have and what are their pain points and challenges and how you can meet them at the point where they're ready to buy your product and service at the exact time that they need it. So getting really, really deep on these things is super, super important. And you need to do this well before you build your logo or any of your brand identity assets.
For those VIP members in the Course Creators Circle, you've got access to our Creating Your Student Persona exercise, and it's also part in the Course Creators Circle guide as well that we'll be releasing. I haven't even got to catch up and tell back yet. We have a brand new workbook releasing, like a full workbook printed and everything.
Amazing. Oh, that's so cool. Well, you guys will definitely have to dive deep into that one.
VIP members, it's all here for you.
So once you've done the hard work and you've built those foundations, now you get to do a little bit more of the fun stuff. So let's start looking at building out our brand identity. So just a refresher, except for now it's in a circle rather than a line. We have our 4 brand buckets, and the brand ID bucket is broken down into your logo, tagline, colors, imagery, typography, and messaging. Now, I've taken this HEAL brand and brand identity, and I've started to build out each of these elements to give you an example. So over on the left, we've got our logo, which uses the typography in our brand identity. We have a tagline, which is holistic wellness for women. We have a primary color palette, which is very simple, just 4 colors. And when it comes to color palettes, you can have 3 colors if you like, you can have 12 colors if you like, but I like to keep it super simple and keep it to sort of 4 or 5. We have a set of imagery that really starts to convey how it would feel or what the people would be like that you're working with within that business. Imagery is so, so important. And also, so is messaging. Now, I'm all about the colors and the shapes and not so much about the words. It's not my forte, but I highly recommend reading Story Brand by Donald Miller. The book and the course that he's got really breaks it down super, super easy into identifying who the hero is in your brand and how to reach them and how to basically craft messaging that's going to get their attention.
Especially when we're teaching, that needs to be very, very clear when we're teaching and attracting students. And Lucas, I can see him here in the session. We're going to delve into a little bit more of that tomorrow as well. So that'll help you through that process, guys.
Fantastic. So now we can take a look at how we take those that brand identity, those assets in the elements in the brand identity, and we can start to look at building out some branded assets. So you can see here we've got our colors, our typography, our imagery, our messaging. Everything is here and it's looking really consistent and really nice. So this artwork hopefully conveys that this is a really inspirational place to go and get help from. It's fresh, it's modern, it's friendly, it's professional. It looks like they're going to be really kind, but ultimately it looks like they're going to get the results that I'm after for me, because it looks like they live what they're teaching, just through the use of imagery here. So it's super, super important to get these elements right. Now, before we move into the fun stuff of creating some super cool branded assets, I wanted to have a little quick chat about consistency, and we do that through brand guidelines. So having brand guidelines for your business will help ensure that consistency in every single piece of collateral that gets produced to market your brand. Now, if you're just a solopreneur, and sorry, not just because if you're a solopreneur, you're doing everything. I take my hat off to you. There's no just in there at all. But if you're a solopreneur, you may just want to have a brand board, and it's just a simple one pager that just breaks down each of those elements. It's a quick go-to guide so that you can grab your colors to make sure they're consistent on your website or in Canva or any piece of collateral that you're printing or sharing online. We've got some example images there. We've got some brand elements. We've got our typography, and it's listed there in hierarchy as well. So just a super, super simple one pager. Then if you want to get a little bit deeper and you want to start to say, hey, when we're using print, we need to use these CMYK or these PMS colors. But when we're on screen, we're going to be using these HTML or RGB colors. We can start to dive a little bit deeper into the color breakdowns that are used in our brand elements. We can start to be a little bit more specific about, hey, when we're on the web, we need this font for the headline, or when we're using print, we need this font for body copy, etc., etc. So you can see there's just a little bit more built out there. Now, if you're quite a big business and you have multiple locations and you have many team members creating artwork for you, then I highly recommend getting a brand Bible, a complete set of brand guidelines that breaks down every single design asset that you'll ever need in your business, so that no matter who's creating the artwork for you, it's always consistent and it's going to always be on brand. Now, this is a whopper. This, I created this for BX. This is a $15,000 to $20,000 job. Not everybody's going to be able to do that, but you can certainly come back and start to build out some brand guide cheat sheets and make sure that your team is very much being consistent in everything they do.
And especially now, because we know there's been lots of chat over AI and those sorts of things, guys. And we're talking about digital and creating assets now, but including that tone into your brand and style guide. How do you want to be perceived? Because it comes back to that student persona and making sure that those information is in there. I know Marketing Circle guys and I are going through in April, how to put together what they actually need in their brand kit. Because this move into AI, we need to make sure that we're keeping everything on brand.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so by now, hopefully you have a better understanding of the difference between branding, brand, and brand identity, as well as the difference between a business brand and a corporate brand. So let's see how Canva can help you with keeping your brand ID consistent across everything that you design. So my demo brand here is a business brand, but you can, of course, do everything exactly the same for a personal brand. Okay, so if you've not used Canva before, you can use it to design and now print as well. You've got thousands of templates, fonts, images, video, and audio all in one place. So you don't need to have separate accounts for stock image and separate accounts for audio and separate accounts for video. Everything is all in the one platform, which is super, super easy. So you can either start by creating a new document using a preset size. So I went into the back end of Thinkific and they don't really recommend too many set sizes. So if you know the exact size you want to use, you can start by putting the size in here, or you can just go ahead and use a preset size. So say, for example, Facebook post or Instagram story, they're all kind of pre-built out there for you. Now, if you've got to this point and you're thinking, oh my God, I'm not a designer, I can't do this. You can, you certainly can. Yeah. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this. So you can search and add a template to kickstart your creativity. You have in the free version over 270,000 templates. And in the pro version, I think it's something like over 610,000 now. And you can design and produce presentations, videos, social media graphics, whiteboards, basic one-page websites, case studies, checklists, personalized proposals, e-cards, e-video cards, the list goes on. And now you can pretty much print anything anywhere in the world too, which is super cool. So once you've had a good look through the templates and you've found something that has good bones, and I mean has sort of the structure that you're looking for. So maybe you're after a headline, an image, something funky on the page there, something that kind of matches what you're looking for. And it doesn't have to have all the right brand colors and everything yet. We're going to use Canva to change it. So you can select the template, then you can edit your fonts and paragraph justification. You can change the line height, which is the spacing between your sentences. You can change the color of your fonts, animate elements, change the transparency. You can change the positions of your elements, which is what I'm doing here. You can edit your photos and loads more. So you can see here that I have got something that's starting to come into what we're sort of looking at with this heel brand. I've started with a template, I've made a few edits, and I'm going to continue that process as we go along here. Okay, so if you haven't seen this yet, this is a game changer. It's called Brand Kit. So you can upload your logos, your brand colors. So thinking back to your brand ID elements, your logos, your colors, your fonts, everything you need to keep it consistent. So you've got 3 colors and brand fonts available in the free version. However, if you're a pro user, you can add all your logos, all your fonts, you can have multiple color palettes, and now you can have up to 100 brand kits. So if you have lots of different products and services with slightly different branding within your business, or you're managing other people's brands, you can set all your brand kits up in Canva. Okay, so now your brand kit's set up. The styles tab, which they've conveniently just moved, by the way, there's a tab on the side now called design. If you click on design, you'll see styles within there. So just remember that when you're watching the recording. So unlike before where I had to manually edit everything I was doing on the page, now I'm using the styles tab. So I used the styles tab to change to my brand fonts. Now I'm just making a few little quick edits here, and I can also use it to change the color on the page as well. So once you're happy with the color and font styling, you can sort of like start to make any other little edits that you need. I found an image that I'd used earlier, which I dragged in. This is this one here. And I'm using the brand kit colors that were already set up. So I've just taken that template, put the text in that I need, swapped out a photo, changed the color of one of the elements, and dropped a logo in. And I've been able to do all of that because Brand Kit is set up consistently. Okay, so you can also connect to Facebook to publish your designs in a click. So you just click share, choose Facebook, you add your copy, and off you go. Now you do need to have a when you're connecting Instagram and Facebook, you need to have the Instagram business account set up to be able to connect these, and they need to talk to each other. So make sure you have that done in the background first before you go and add Facebook and Instagram. So you can publish to Instagram from your phone on the go with our iOS and Android phone apps. But using the app too is a really great way to see what you've created on the desktop. Like if you could see my setup here, I've got a ginormous screen and then a big laptop. And, you know, when you're designing things that are, you know, nearly A3 in size on your screen, you might put text in that once it's reduced right down to a little tiny phone size might be too small. So one thing I do is I create on the desktop, and then I just open Canva on my app on my phone, and I just check that that design has text that's readable and that, you know, it's not going to get lost. So you can schedule your posts on the following social media apps with more on the way. We've got Facebook groups and pages, Instagram business account, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Slack, and Tumblr. So if you get frustrated creating presentations in PowerPoint or Keynote, then you are going to love this. For all you course creators out there, you have to be using presentations. So you select a presentation from the home screen, then you go ahead and select any template. You add the pages first, and then you delete any that you feel like you won't kind of use. So just keep the ones in there that are relevant to your content. Go to the Styles tab and add your colors. You can shuffle through until you find a combination that you're really happy with. Then you click Apply to All Pages. So pretty quickly you can see here that we've got a presentation set up, it's on brand, on color, and we've just added our fonts, and we have a quick flick through, and already that's looking pretty good. Now you can edit your presentation, make any necessary sort of type adjustments. You can go ahead and add your logo in. You can add on brand images. Then all you need to do is edit the copy to suit, and then you're ready to present. So I'm actually using Canva's presentation tool today. So I'm using the presenter mode. So on one screen, I've got the presentation and my notes, and then on the other screen, I've got the screen that you guys are all seeing, which is the full screen mode. So creating presentations is super fast and super easy, but you can also present from within. And then there's a little video later that shows you how you can also record your presentations so that you can then upload them to Thinkific. It makes it super easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to share a video with you now. It's actually a hype reel for creating recorded presentations, but it's a lot faster and has way more impact than if I was to sit here showing you how to do it. So it's not very long, so just sit back and check this out.
Mic drop, I ain't gotta preach. I just do what comes natural.
So how cool is that? So imagine how you would stand out from your competitors. First of all, if you were creating a proposal, which you can also do with these presentations, and you put a recorded message from yourself in the proposal and sent that out, or if you were to use it to record your presentations for Thinkific. And you can use these two to create evergreen webinars. And I mean, it's not the webinar software, but the actual content for the webinars. It's pretty awesome.
It's
Sorry,
cool.
Linda, were you going to say something?
No. I was just saying it was very cool.
Oh. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some of the pro features in Canva so you can create amazing content and promotional materials for your business or personal brand. So if you haven't seen this yet, as a designer, I used to have to painstakingly go in and deep etch around hair and, just, oh my gosh, everything would take hours. But now you don't need difficult editing tools and you can remove your photo backgrounds in a flash. So you select the image, then edit image, then background remover, and it's gone. Like when I was shown this, I was just like,
pros worth it for that. Let's just be honest.
Best thing ever. So yeah, if you do point of sale and you've got loads of products that you need to remove the background, this is an absolute time saver. Now, not only do we have the image background remover, we also have the video background remover tool now. So you can search for a Canva library video, or you can add your own brand video, add it to the page, make any necessary sort of adjustments to your artwork. Then you can go ahead and click video, then select background remover just there. And there you have it. Now, it does actually take a bit longer than that. I cut out the waiting time in between, but depending on how big your video is and how much sort of how much stuff's going on in the background is going to dictate how long it will take to remove the background, but it's still pretty cool. Now, also you can resize your art in a flash. So this is definitely a pro only feature, and you can use it to take any design and basically resize it into anything. So you go to the resize button, select a new size. So here I've selected an Instagram story. You just make a few little tweaks to your artwork and make it suit for what you need. And then I've gone ahead and created a poster there as well. So literally within maybe 2 minutes, you could have 3 pieces of artwork. Like it's such a time saver. I can't even tell you. Yeah. So, and you'll see in my demo that I do later, I'm going to create 3 pieces of artwork for you. And you'll be able to see that in pretty much real life. Okay, so once you have your awesome promotional materials, you're going to want to promote them. So we have this tool called Smart Mockups, which allows you to mock up your flat design into a 3D realistic photo. So You don't need Photoshop to do this. So simply choose your design, select a mock-up, and with a single click, you are done. So you can download this or use it directly in a design. So this is awesome for if you have a course coming out and you want to show it like on an iPad or on someone's computer screen, or just like this, you know, on someone's phone. So this, like a couple of seconds and you have the most professional looking 3D mock-up. Super cool.
Okay, so we had to do that manually.
Sorry. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes, I still see content creators for some of the Adobe products showcasing this, and I sit there going, "This is a 1-minute video on something that could have taken you like a second." Anyway, okay, so we also have a built-in content planner that you can use to save loads of time. So you can plan ahead and never miss a post, and you can do this from your desktop or your phone. Here you can see we're scheduling a post for Instagram, and I've connected my Instagram business account in Canva, which allows this to happen. Okay, so I've got one last super cool feature to show you before we dive into the demo. This is another hype reel on creating video in Canva. Now, there's been some other cool releases since this video came out. Now you can also have timed elements. So if you're one of those people that creates Instagram reels where you point and the text comes up, now you can create your video of yourself doing this. And then in Canva, you can have timed elements, so the elements will come up in time. That's not shown on this, but the rest of the video is shown on here. So I'll let you check this out. This one takes a second to buffer if it hasn't started already.
Yeah. Guys, if you've got questions or...
I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat. I gotta... It's the end October, champagne on my shoulder. This is my exposure. Pop that bottle, it's over. It's the end October, champagne on my shoulder. This is my exposure. Pop that all night long, but the feeling keeps kicking in. Beef with all the girls.
Okie dokie. So by now, I think you're pretty much going to be a pro at Canva once you implement all of these tricks. And today we have chatted about creating brand ID elements, how to put them into some branded content, which you can see here, how to set up everything from scratch using your brand kit. And I just want to quickly go over, we have the corporate brand here, but I've gone ahead and created some personal brand assets for somebody that works within this business. And if I flick back and forth here, you can see, even though there's the added element of the black color there, which isn't used in the corporate brand color palette, you can see they still match really nicely. So we've got an Instagram post in the middle here, and then we've got a lead magnet post. We've designed the lead magnet in Canva. We've designed a page website in Canva, and then we've used the smart mockup tool to put that lead magnet into that one page website. So you can see hopefully in a very, very quick time that we've gone and created brand ID assets, brand brand ID elements, we've created branded assets, and we've incorporated a personal brand into the mix there. So now I am pretty excited to show you how to create some course assets. So I've got three elements that I'm going to show you. I've got a course thumbnail. Now I've used the YouTube thumbnail size because it closely matched the Thinkific size, but you can of course put the exact custom size into Canva. I've got a presentation, and I've got an Instagram story to help you promote your course. Now, I'm also going to be demoing the brand new Magic Write AI tool, which you'll find in Canva Docs. That's been released recently, and you'll find this in the new Docs section. So when you go into Canva, it's at the very top that says Docs. So you click on Docs. Now, again, this demo is super fast paced because when I actually recorded it, it was about 16 or 17 minutes, but the bits are super quick. So again, sit back and watch.
It's not about getting the feel, guys. It's not about getting everything step by step. Now, I have included all the Thinkific image sizes in our chat for everyone, so they are there, because the more courses you get, the slower your site gets if you load too big at once, guys, believe me.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So this is pre-recorded, so I will talk you through it. Going to increase this a bit. Okay, so we go to Docs and we open a doc and we go to Magic Write, and I'm going to pop a headline in there, and it will automatically generate 5 headlines for me. And I'm going to take that headline and ask it to generate 3 steps for that particular headline. Now I'm going to use this copy over in my artwork. So now I'm going to go ahead and create a YouTube thumbnail, which again is a very similar size to the Thinkific course cover size. This one looks pretty good. I'm going to go into styles, and I'm going to flick through the colors till I find something that really looks quite nice. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and add my brand fonts, and we are done. So I go back to Magic Write and I go back to my doc, grab my headline, come back into my artwork, and I'm just going to pop that in there and make all the necessary edits to make it look quite good. So I've got a headline here that needs to stand out a little bit more, so I'm going to bump that up. I'm going to put Jane Smith's name in there, and then I'm going to go ahead to logos and add the logo, which again is there because we set up Brand Kit earlier today. Now I'm going to grab all these elements and center them just so that they are absolutely perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab an image, which is going to suit the brand. And there we have it. So pretty quickly, we've created a thumbnail for our course. Now, make sure you name your artwork. Now, I'm going to do resize changes to a presentation cover. Now, when you open a presentation, it gives you all these blank sort of pre-built templates on the side. They're super cool. So you can go through and add the pages that you want to have in your presentation. There's many different ways to set up a presentation. I'm showing you this way because I showed you the other way in my other demo before. So I'm going through and I'm adding pages that closely match the type of content that I want to have in my presentation. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but if it's giving me a foundation to start with, then that's really good. Okay, so now that I've got the cover and some pages added in, I'm going to go in and add one of my photos. And that looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to go into styles and start to style these pages. So I'm going to add my fonts to each of the page. So you click on the page and then click the font, and it will, the font section there, and it will add your brand fonts to your page. And so far, pretty quickly, this is starting to look like it's really on brand. So again, make sure you name your artwork. I'm going to go back to my doc and grab the headlines for each of these sections for my 3 steps and paste them in there. Do a few quick edits, get rid of the things I don't need, and I'm going to grab all those elements by clicking and selecting and then just centering them on the page. Okay, so that's starting to look pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to build out each of those 3 steps. So I'm going to get rid of the elements I don't need, come over, grab the text. Now, again, this is super, super fast, but what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that the text is going to fit on each of the pages. And I'm going to grab a photo that matches the text just by using the Elements tab there. And now I've pressed T to get a new text box up, and I've put in step 1. Now I've pressed the duplicate page there so that I can make creating the other pages super easy. So I've changed it to step 2. I'm going to grab step 2, and then all I need to do is replace the photo. So literally within less than 30 seconds, I have a new page set up. Okay, grab a new photo for exercising. Now I've literally just grabbed whatever's come up first, but you could definitely put more time and effort into selecting the right one. Okay, and then step 3, this one is all about sleep. So I go and grab my sleep text. Now this is a lot bigger, this text, so you'll see it overflow. Now what I'm going to do here is change the text size to fit this box, and then I will show you this super magic tool called the paint roller. You grab that and it copies that style, and then I'm going to go up and add that style to each of the text boxes so that they're consistent. And as a designer, normally I'd actually start with the biggest text box first, but I wanted to do it in that order to show you that you can go back and fix things up.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's grab a sleep photo, and I think next we're adding a call to action page. Yes, so I wanted to show you by scrolling just how many preset pages there are in here, and there's actually loads more below this one, but there's literally a layout for almost everything that you could ever possibly need. So I'm just going to grab this one for a call to action page and then just dump some text in there for now. Okay. So that's looking pretty clean. If you think back to the artwork that we created, it's very much still on brand. There's lots of lovely white space. We're sort of, looking for that inspirational imagery. Here you can see I'm just making a few little tweaks. Now I'm going to go and add some color to each of these pages. And I'm just doing this quickly by using the Styles tab and the preset color palettes. Now I scroll through and see there's too much blue. So I'm going to go ahead and manually change the background to black and the text to blue on this page just to break it up a bit. So super quick, guys. I've created an entire presentation there. Obviously, you'd have your content already written. You'd probably write it, use docs and use Magic, right? And it sounds like you guys have talked about AI quite a bit today, but make sure that the content that it's creating is actually correct. Also, I would run it through a plagiarism checker just to make sure it's not breaking any rules. And there you have it. So we've created a course cover graphic, a course thumbnail. We've created a course presentation, and now we're going to go ahead and create an Instagram story. Now, I've taken the thumbnail and I've turned it into an Instagram story, and you can see it's completely wrong. So I'm going to have to do a bit of design here. And essentially, it's just moving elements around the page to make them fit. Now you can see here, I've sped that up super, super fast, but essentially if you've got something that's portrait and you need to go, if you've got something that's landscape and you need to go portrait, it's nice to kind of just stack the images. Now, Instagram stories are animated, allow for animation and video, and they also allow for links. So I've left a section down the bottom there where I could add a link in by using the little stickers in Instagram itself. Now, if you click on animations, you can animate your page, and then once you're all done and you're pretty happy with all that, you can just play it and just check that you're happy with it. And that's looking pretty good. So we've got a thumbnail, a presentation, and an Instagram story. And you'll see these in your home page once you go back into Canva. Now you need to download them. So with an Instagram story, if it's got animation in it, I would definitely download it as an MP4 video. If it doesn't have animation, you could just do a PNG or a GIF. With the presentation, Linda, you'll have to let me know, but I'm assuming you can upload PDFs and or MP4 videos to Thinkific, but you've got lots of different download options there. Yep.
There's plenty.
And
There's
then
plenty of options depending on what you wanted to do. Now, a couple of tips, guys, before we talk about doing this. If you download a PDF lesson and record in Thinkific, don't. Record it in Canva. Okay, because Canva you can come back and edit. A screencasting software you can come back and edit. The thing not so great. So sorry, Thinkific, but it's not. So do it this way. Record in Canva instead.
Okay. And guys, that's it. So if you want to try Canva Pro for free, you're welcome to go to my URL, rebeccaflint.com/Canva-trial, or grab your phone and grab the
Yeah,
QR
the
code.
It's also in the
Um,
QR code list of everything that we've got for tools and that today as well, guys. Now,
Awesome.
I'll have to
Hang
add
on, just one sec.
Go.
And then all the templates I showed you today actually just give away. I don't require a opt-in for the first 3 images that I've got on here. However, the 4th one is my ebook, and you're welcome to grab that at RebeccaFlint.com/freebies. And if we have time for a Q&A, over to you, Linda.
Beautiful. No, we've got a couple of questions come in, so I want to try and get them answered. Bearing in mind, I also have to beat the dentist. This is good fun today. Okay, so what couple of things. First thing, because there's been lots of AI talk today, I'm going to juggle our VIP how-to sessions. We are going to do AI for course creation in April, and then we will come back and do the ebook library in Feb, just in case anyone's looking at. That's all available for our VIP Course Creation Circle members. Kat asked which plagiarism checker that I would recommend. My favorite one is Grammarly, and I've just popped the link in for Grammarly because it sits over your browser, so you can use it on all sorts of areas. You're not having to just use it in those areas. And with the copywriting team, we have a rule in this house, in this office. Forget the house, rule in the office that if we all are arguing, Grammarly's the winner.
I love that.
That's how we're going to sit here. We've got a team of 6 copywriters. It's always fun.
Oh, wow.
Okay, has anyone got any questions for Rebecca? This is your opportunity to go before we need to wrap up for today. If you've got questions, throw them our way. This offer is amazing for you to be able to take it up, freebies, grab all of those sorts of. That's included in our link as well for today. Otherwise, that was a morning on steroids. Okay. While we're wrapping up, I'll just give you some house. We start again at 8 a.m. Melbourne. We are delving into course creation automation first. So look at your course that you can automate, including that marketing component of your course, because sorry, guys, creating your content is only one part of it. There's about another 60% of making it into the marketing world. Then we've got we're doing teaching live, so I'll teach you some tips and tricks on teaching live. You've learned some mistakes about teaching live today, so that's been great. Hopefully a few tips along the way. And then we've got Lucas joining us, and he's going to talk about marketing strategies for your course. Lucas is an expert marketer and one of my fellow Thinkific experts. And finally, we will wrap up with a panel where you can throw your questions at us. So we will answer them. And I'll have a few for the panel if they're not there as well. So it'll be really good. So if you think of questions between now and then for us, feel free to come back, and we will all be on the panel tomorrow to answer those questions for you. Rebecca, if you were doing one thing with Canva right now, and you're about to create your own courses, so welcome to the world of course creation. Have fun. If you were about to create your courses right now, what would be the first thing that you would be doing inside Canva to set up your journey?
Yeah, definitely getting those foundations right. So making sure your brand elements are set up and your brand kit set up, and you have consistent brand guidelines. That's something I would make sure as a foundation, but something I'll be focusing on or getting really excited about is creating reels in Canva and video presentation. So, it's just such a great tool to be able to create all those assets for your courses and your downloads. Like you can do checklists, and you can do, all your PDF downloads for your courses in there as well. So, I don't know if there's one thing, but I'm pretty excited about the video side of things in there. So,
the videos come so far. So to be able to do
it has, and there's a lot more coming too. So it's really exciting.
Beautiful. Everyone has done a really good big job in turning up for everything today. So I want to thank everyone for their time. I know it takes time. You have learned and taken in an information overload. So there is some homework. I'm not a teacher without some homework, am I? The thing that I want you to do today is to take 3 action points. 3, that's all you need to do. We don't want 100. 3 action points that you need to take in your course creation journey to move yourself forward. Remember, like Rob and I said, it's all about making that next step. It's not about getting everything out there today. So take that step, whether you go through the planning activity, if you're anything like me, I'd be going straight in the design tools and setting up my design because that's my favorite thing to do. But whatever it is that you want to do, go through that process. We have special offers from each of our presenters today inside the threads for you to be able to jump in and grab advantage of. And I will see you back here tomorrow. And if you've got any questions along the way, feel free to ask. It's been huge. We'll be back again tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
Before
Thanks
you
for
go,
making
Linda,
the
let me take a photo. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
3, 2, 1. Thank you. Thanks for having me,
that.
guys.
My whole team's got COVID. I didn't remember
Oh.
anything.
Take care. See you on the
Thanks,
panel.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.